Welcome to the Tea with Martha, where we spill the tea on the untold truths and real struggles of entrepreneurship. I'm Martha Pachow, a fellow business owner who's learned the ins and outs of business the hard way. Get ready for unfiltered discussions on the highs, lows, and messy realities of entrepreneurship. It's time to spill the tea and vent it out with us. Welcome back to another episode of the Tea with Martha. Today, my friend Karen Briscoe is on, and I am so excited for you guys to meet her. Not only is she a powerhouse in business and real estate, but what I love about Karen, we met through GoBundance, and she just has all the pillars of life. Like, she just rocks them. She is a wonderful mother and recently grandmother. And she's a marathon runner and all the fun things. She is always having a good time. And I just want to welcome you, Karen. Thank you for being on. Welcome to the tea.
Well, so I'm excited to spill some tea with you and my journey in business and life, and anything I can add value to your community. I'm thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on. Karen, tell us a little bit about your business and what you have going on.
Well, my main gig is real estate. So I am a mega real estate agent, which when people use that terminology, it means that I have a team of agents inside of a brokerage. So our team typically sells about 100 million in real estate a year. We're in the DMV, which I don't know who decided to call us the DMV, but that means the DC, Washington, DC, suburban Maryland, Northern Virginia metro region. I'm on the Virginia side of the river, and we are in a really high income bracket. Our average sales price is about 1,200,000, 1,300,000. And so we play in the higher air arena, but it's a sophisticated clientele, but it has certainly been good to us. So my residential real estate career has started in 2001. I started out of college in the commercial space, and so that's kind of its own side journey or side story. And then in 2015, I set about what I, refer to as my personal life journey side of it, and recognized that I had achieved a high level of success and felt like there was more for me to do, more contribution, which led to me writing a book, Real Estate Success in 5 Minutes a Day. And that's one of my key concepts is this achieving success at a high level by investing 5 minutes a day. And then that has led to the podcast, 5 Minute Success, which has over 400 episodes, and also 3 other books and coaching and other spaces that I'm in with started in real estate and still heavily real estate focused, but also recognize that many times people achieve a high level of success and then they look around and go, oh, is that it? And so helping people, that's one thing I love about GoBundance is with the pillars of success is yes, you want to may want to achieve a lot high level success in business, but you also want to have a great life too.
Yes, that is the key. And I have to say a little bit about when I met you. So I joined GoBundance a few years ago, and one of the things that I loved that drew me to Karen is just her energy level. I mean, I remember thinking like, man, this woman she is on fire. She was there with her daughter. I don't know if you remember this. My first event was in Dallas. Yeah. And we had this really beautiful, like, big hat tea party, and you and your daughter showed up, and we just connected. And I just love your energy and your love of life. And tell us a little bit of some of the latest fun things you've done in terms of talking about that adventure pillar.
Well, I do enjoy travel, and then I like active travel. So I like to do active adventure along with travel. So
Mhm.
probably our most recent was Callie, my daughter and I. We went to South Island in New Zealand last fall, and then we have a couple of more European trips planned for the summer. We have a second home outside of Annapolis on the water, so catch me doing a lot of boating and kayaking, and I love to walk on the beach and biking and very active. When I met you in Dallas, I just had foot surgery, and I actually brought my daughter so that she could carry my luggage. So, but it was fun to bring her along, and that is the other reason why I love the Go Abundance Women's Tribe, is because they're always up for a great party, and yet at the same time, just these women who are achieving at such a high level. So it's a great
Yes.
community to be a part of.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for showing us the way to, hike big mountains, both in business, but also in real life and for fun. Your hashtag goals, I want you to know that. So,
Well, and the thing I also like to share with people is I didn't start working full time until I was 50 years old.
wow.
So yeah, so I
Yes,
have achieved a lot of success, in a short period of time, because when my children were young, I was the predominant caregiver for them, mostly because my husband's career required a lot of travel, and I just couldn't figure it out. I have such great respect for women who do figure it out, because I couldn't figure it out. And I feel honored and blessed that I was able to do that. But when I
yes,
reentered the workforce, started on a part-time level and met with success very rapidly, even at that scale. And then that led to one of the top producers, actually in the nation. She was number 10. I asked me to become her partner in '06. And so I did. And then '08, she passed away. And I took over the business when I turned 50 years old. So,
that is
yeah, in a
so
financial market
remarkable.
that was crashing, in a real estate world that was crashing, and so I had to hit the ground running, because that was the only alternative.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing that blows my mind. As women, sometimes we think, oh, that ship has sailed, and maybe I didn't do this, or there's regrets. But really, that obviously your story is a testament that it's never too late. We're also, I feel like your 40s and 50s and 60s, every decade, it's a badge of honor. We have so many layers that to us that contribute to success. We have wisdom, we have lived a little longer than maybe in our 20s or 30s, and it's just a number. It's what we do with it, and it's never too late to start. So I that's another thing I love about you. I thought, wow, I remember when I learned that, thinking, oh, okay, I'm just barely getting started. If she has this level of success, really anyone can do it. Obviously, that's a testament to who you are, how you show up, and how you go all in, because that's not an easy feat either. So, but spill the tea a little bit. Spill the tea on the business side, and creating maybe that team during a downturn in the market, and or any other season in life. I mean, yes, it's great to say, hey, I'm a mega realtor and I have a massive, I have found massive success. Maybe not found, created massive
Yeah,
success.
great. Yeah.
um, but what's the real tea behind all that? What are the days or the reasons or situations that kept you up at night?
Well, so like I said, when I took over the business, the financial markets had crashed. My business partner had died, and the real estate market had also was crashing. And so what I drew on was the fact that I had been in commercial real estate in Texas in the '80s, and I saw how the people who survived and then thrived through that market correction. And so I actually saw it before a lot of people did, and I had started to put into place some uh, systems and processes. Mostly just got really right with the numbers, and made sure that everything, all the money was held accountable for, and really trimmed down everything to what was truly needed to run the business. And then
Mm.
it was a who, because my current business partner, Lizzie Conroy, she came to me. Actually, she was a past client, someone I knew at church, and she had came to me and said she was thinking about getting real estate. I was like, in '09, really? Who gets in real estate in '09? But I was like, sure, if you want to do that, call me. And so she did, and it brought a breath of fresh air and energy to me. And that because of her, I was like, well, I'm going to carry on. Like, we're going to make this
Mm.
happen. And between the, with that energy together, having someone to do it, I discovered very soon that I am better in partnership and relationship in business. I'm not really
Nice.
a lone ranger. And so she and I set about rebuilding the business. And that was what led actually to the writing of the book, because people would
Mm.
come to me and they would say, Karen, you achieved a high level of success through a market crash, a partner dying, bringing in on another partner, rebuilding the business back up to that level. How did you do it? And
Mhm.
I found that there were some key principles that applied to what I had found in achieving success over time. And I also found that what happens is that many people in not just my business, in any business, they really say they're too busy to invest in their personal and business development.
Mhm.
And
Or they
that's
can't
where,
afford it, right? That's the
well,
other,
that's the other one, right? Yeah, they don't,
or they don't wanna
well,
make the investment. Often they
right.
can't afford it. They just are like,
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable."
Yeah, Warren Buffett says the very best investments in yourself, right? Because think
Mhm.
about it, I can create more wealth and value than anybody, really anything else. So I should be investing in me, right? I found that out very quickly. I was like, I am my best asset.
Yes.
When I would talk with people about this, I would say, well, can you invest 5 minutes a day? And invariably,
Mm.
everybody had 5 minutes a day. So, in a way, it broke down the resistance, what was holding them back from doing anything, by saying, well, let's put 5 minutes a day into it. And that led to the real estate success in 5 minutes a day and the 5 minute success concept, because it's actually a principle, that Parkinson's law, and that is restricting and limiting time actually can make people more effective and efficient. What happens with a
Mm.
lot of people, they experience that overwhelm, tsunami of too much information, too many opportunities, too much training, too
Mhm.
much, too much. We are really overwhelmed, even more so now than we were in 2016 when I wrote the book. And so breaking it down into these chunks that people could do, and then I was very fortunate that Hal Elrod, Miracle Morning,
Yeah.
and I became friends. He endorsed my book. I had an
Awesome.
opportunity to connect with him and a lot of other people that are in his arena, and that led to a lot of success in the book, and then led to the podcast. It was actually a GoBundance person that connected all this. It was Pat Hyben.
Mm.
Pat Hyben, I knew through real estate, and I reached out to him about writing the book. He said, you should call my friend Hal Elrod. And then he was the one that told me about, I was a guest on his podcast, and he told me about abundance. And I'm like, well, where's the women's side of this, Pat? So it took a little while for them to get it up and running. And finally, it was really smart enough to let the women run it.
Right.
Um, but anyhow, it was actually, that was the introduction that I had to Go Abundance, was through Pat Hyben.
That's amazing. And there again, thinking of the power of our network and the power of those referrals and connections, and we're all one person away from your next big, break, or the right person that we need to take us to the next, or through the next season, or to the next level. It is pretty remarkable when we sit and think about that, right? And also how we could be that for other people. I love the connection that we can be within our network. It is game changing for sure.
It is definitely. There's a book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, Who Not How.
Yes.
And whenever I look back on, they say, connect the dots looking back. And it's almost always been a who that helped me figure out the how. And
Mm-hmm.
so I, and that has led to all the places I've gone because of the book and the podcast, and that journey, that success journey, has enhanced my real estate business and also given me, so much more, uh, or like I said, contribution to make and people to
Yes.
meet and connect with. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me a little bit of maybe another pillar that, since we're on the pillar theme, uh, what has been something else that has fueled you through all the iterations of yourself, of your business, and getting into new realms, maybe of contribution. What does that look like for you these days, and what has that been for you in the past?
Well, I do love the adventure pool, portion of the Go Abundance actually as well, because there are many networking groups where you could go sit in a conference room with a bunch of people, and I don't sit well, so I don't last very well in conference rooms with a bunch of people, and even amazing speakers. And so I do enjoy the fact that a lot of the connection happens, and I think
Mhm.
this is true in a lot of groups, but a lot of the connection happens in the um, in the adventure portion. I mean, I
Mhm.
remember, San Diego and going on the out on the sailboat, and in Sedona going on the hike, and we had a summit, in Annapolis, and we
Mhm.
did boating and kayaking, and it really, there's something that happens when you're in community with people, connecting in a new way. And I already shared with you a little bit about my travel, and why I like that kind of travel. But I also think that it really is one of the unique aspects to Go Abundance, in terms of pillars that I believe really makes a difference, makes it special.
Absolutely. We need harmony in life. I don't know if there's balance, but I like the whole term harmony. And that's a biggest, I often have had big breakthroughs or big aha moments just in the stillness or in the activity, being in nature, hiking, biking, boating. And there's something that happens when we're not connected on our phone or on our laptop and checking email and answering, just being solutions to problems nonstop. There's no white space. There's no space for us to think and feel even I think that's how I see it. And to your point, when you're organically just walking, I even there's biological data like for when I have boys, so they say when you want to talk to boys, throw a ball and talk, or walk and talk, or hike and run, that activity, because that's how their brains are wired.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I
maybe
believe
that's the
that.
masculine aspect for us. Sometimes we're in our masculine because we're building and problem solving and going at it. And but anyway, so like that wiring of sometimes we just need that disconnecting to reconnect with ourselves. So I love
Yes.
that. What are some of the things that you would say, what is your why? What is your why now that you've achieved success, that you have raised your family, and what keeps you going, and what tell us the tea there.
Well, I did have a milestone birthday this year, 65. And, in the olden days, that was like the traditional, retirement. I am technically a Medicare. However, I feel like well, first of all, I'm pretty confident I will live to 100. My dad is 91, and
Wow.
he has good genes. And so I see a lot of still, future. The one wonderful thing about real estate is, there really is no, time stamp that you end in this business. And I will say that the key to success ongoing, what I found, is to staying current and relevant, particularly with technology. I
Mm,
really am very intentional about keeping up with the young people. I always hire young people, and I always say, teach me this, and we're going to do that, and I'm going to learn this, and I commit to it. I really do, because I do think that's very
Mm,
important. And so, even though I have adult children and a granddaughter,
nice.
my granddaughter, so my grandmother name is Coco because it's fun and sophisticated.
I
So
love it. Yours, yeah, it goes so well. It
yeah,
feels
fun
good
and
to you.
sophisticated. I think it's a forever thing. I don't know whether the gig has a expiration date. It is definitely a forever job
Yes.
or opportunity role. So it is different because the relationship changes they as adults. However, it's actually, I think, much more enjoyable because they really are adults, and I can go home and they still do their thing. So
Okay, good. There's hope for
wonderful.
us that we're still in the thick
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. So there's investing. I do quite a bit of real estate investing, and then coaching. I have a few slots that I coach people on the idea of being a mega agent, and those who want to be, and also the idea of, okay, so you want to be a mega agent, but also want to have a mega life along with being a mega agent. So life
Mhm.
coaching. So that is part of my success journey, and I um, enjoy enjoy travel and spending, like I said, time outside doing things. But I visualize myself staying active in the in the business and in making a contribution for quite some time. My father actually did retire. He was an entrepreneur and a businessman, and he sold his business at 65. And he says that was the biggest mistake he ever made. He
Oh,
said,
wow.
I really felt like, he became mayor of his town. He did a lot of things. It wasn't like he just stopped contributing. However, he really he was just the type of person, and I'm, like I said, very similar to him in that I'm I'm a driver. I don't know if you're familiar with
Mhm.
the disc profile, but
Yes,
I am a driver, and it is so internal, and
yes.
I
I
am
can relate.
best. Yeah, I'm best when I'm living into my highest and best self, and so I see the value in that, and
Mhm.
finding ways to continue to do that is certainly on my life business goal list, bucket list. I call it a life list because I feel like bucket means
We're
you're
ticking the box.
yeah, you're focusing on the death part of it. I'm like, I want to focus on the life part of it. So I
Yes,
have this life list of the places I want to go and the people I want to see and the things I want to do, and
yes.
I work towards those things. And there's always more to do because there's more people to see and places to go and things to do.
Yes, yes, yes. You see, guys, you see why I love Karen. So, Karen, just as a last thought, tell the audience, and maybe share uh, something that's really just changed your life for the better. Maybe the hardest thing you've gone through in life, or in business, or in parenting, or in finances, whatever that may be for you, and kind of what has life lesson? What is something that you wish someone would have told you, or in hindsight, maybe I would have done this different?
Well, the thing that I discovered, it was really an epiphany and aha, was that the only thing that was stopping me was me.
Mm,
And so and it's still an ongoing opportunity to coach myself on my thoughts about what
mm,
stops me from being able to achieve what I want to achieve. And my most obvious example was when I said I wanted to write a book, and I said I didn't have enough time or money. And this was 2015. And so it's 9 years ago. And I kept saying that. People kept saying you should write a book. I kept saying I don't have enough time or money. And I was at a coach training weekend retreat, and we were all supposed to write about what was stopping us from doing what we said we wanted to do. And then we were supposed to present on it. And I still remember the moment when the light bulb went on. And actually, everybody there witnessed it and remembers it as well.
Mhm.
And I just had this, oh, the only one stopping me is me.
Mm.
And I found that to be very freeing, because and empowering. Because what I before that moment, I was waiting for other people to change,
Ooh, this is
circumstances
so
to
good.
change. And when I recognized that, kind of like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, when I clicked my heels, I had it inside of me all along. I when I made the decision, then then all I had to do was figure out how to do it.
Mm.
Before then, I was trying to figure out how to get people to change or the situation to change. And so whenever and I went on and I wrote the book, and I told you the other parts of the story, but it first started because I realized that the only one stopping me was me. And so
Mhm.
whenever I hit those moments, and I'm still a work in progress, I life coach myself. I coach myself on my thoughts that are leading to my feelings and my actions and my results, because I can change all of those. I can't change the circumstances, but I can change how
Mhm.
I think about it. I can change how I feel
Mhm.
about it. I can change
Yes.
the actions I can take, and those change the results. And I find that to be very empowering. And that's a lot of what I do when I coach with people, is help them to see what's stopping them, and how they can move forward,
Yes.
uh,
So good.
achieve what they want to achieve.
Yes, yes. I mean, it is truly, as they say, we create our problems, but we also have the solutions to our problems. And that's where I think the real tea is really just facing a mirror and saying, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? How am I going to take action on the things that I have the ability to? And then they compound over time. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it's the little actions that we consistently take. And then when you reflect, you think, oh, I actually have come a little bit of a far away from where I was. But it's the action, it's the daily action that it takes to change. And I love that. I mean, I think yeah, I could probably talk about that for a whole hour. I'm sure you can too.
Well, like I said, that's kind of like the 5 minute success. I was like, okay, so if you can't do it all, then do 5 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
5 minutes, as you said, can have an impact.
Yeah.
And you can have a snowball effect. Sometimes, it's like that. Sometimes it's a domino. Sometimes it's, ripple effect, like with pebble in the pond. Sometimes, it's actually very exponential. Like, oh my gosh, like I got one change so many
Mhm.
things.
Yes.
Um, really, change. I think it was Jim Rohn said, change the way you look at things, and the way you look at things changes. Well, that again is
Mhm.
changing the way I looked
'Cause
at
we
things. I
do. Mhm.
look at that what I was saying was I was stopping me.
Mhm.
I said I didn't have enough time or money. I
Mhm.
stopped me, right?
Mhm. So good. So good. Well, Karen, it's been such a pleasure spilling the tea and sharing with my audience about all your wonderful projects, adventures, and really just more than that, just the light that you are to those around you, and all while just building a small empire. Karen, where can our listeners find you?
Well, so from the coaching and the books and podcasts, that's all the number 5 minute success. And that's the website, 5 minute success. And you can find me there. If you're interested in talking to me, then you can book a time for us to have a conversation and see if it's a good fit. And on the real estate side, I am a Keller Williams agent in, like I said, the Northern Virginia area. If you Google Karen Briscoe, I promise you I take up the whole first page. You'll find me. I can help with your real estate needs too.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll make sure we link everything. And again, thank you, Karen. It's been fabulous. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of The Tea with Martha. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode. If you're struggling to find your flow in juggling all the things that go into building and scaling your dreams, while also being present for your family and finding time to take care of you, I want to invite you to join my free 21-day challenge, Tame the Chaos. You'll get my tried and true time management workbook designed to help you become a master at organizing and prioritizing how you spend your time. Plus, I'm going to walk you through a daily exercise that will transform chaos into clarity and keep you on track to creating momentum towards your goals. I personally use this method myself, and it is a vital key to my success over the years. Please visit marthapachow.com/tame the chaos to register for the challenge now and get instant access to the workbook. And if you've enjoyed today's tea, make sure to follow, rate, and leave a review. Stay connected with us on social media at The Tea with Martha for updates and behind-the-scenes moments. Remember, every woman's story is a sip of inspiration, and together we're brewing success. This is Martha signing off. Cheers.